So in this last lesson from chapter 13, we're going to be talking about some of the limitations of DNA replication that leads to a problem in a eukaryotic organism because of after every round of replication of a chromosome, that it gets shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter. And it has to do with the fact that the DNA polymerase can only add the new bases to the 3' end. So if you look at this illustration here, on when the primers are removed and replaced with the DNA nucleotides, that can only be done on the 3' end. So where you have this 5' section here, that primer isn't actually ever replaced where the RNA primer was with DNA nucleotides. So every round, this will happen until those daughter molecules are shorter and shorter. So why should we care about this? Well, we really should, because we're talking about our chromosomes, we're talking about our genetic makeup. So as shown here, the ends of chromosomes are called telomeres. And these telomeres are kind of like the aglets of a shoelace. That's the plastic piece at the end of the shoelace that prevents the shoelace from fraying, so you can thread it through the holes of the shoe. And so like the aglets on the shoelace, the telomeres protect the sensitive ends of the chromosome, preventing it from getting degraded as it goes through several rounds of replication. But these telomeres do shorten over time. The thing is that the telomeres are non-coding regions of DNA. There are DNA nucleotides here, but they don't code for traits that we need to survive. But over time, as the telomeres get shorter and shorter and shorter, there does pose the problem that it could get into the actual chromosome, the part of the chromosome that codes for the genes that we need to survive. Now there's a video that I'd like you to watch. Can't show it on here because you won't get the sound, about an enzyme called telomerase. And the job of telomerase is to lengthen the telomeres by adding nucleotides. Now we don't actually, this is not something that happens normally in our body, but there are certain types of cells that have telomerase, including stem cells. Stem cells are cells that haven't yet differentiated to have a certain kind of job. They're the cells that are used in many therapies to try to help regenerate parts of the body that aren't healthy, or treat diseases, degenerative diseases. Another place that telomerase is found is in cancer cells, because cancer cells don't really follow the rules. They're like zombie cells. They just can keep on dividing and not getting degraded. They're in a way protected, which is not good, of course, because cancer cells can take away energy and nutrition from healthy cells of a body. So this telomerase is an interesting enzyme because in some ways it's good, you know, for the stem cells, but that might not be prevalent in somebody that's getting older. Instead, they're going to have more of it in like abnormal cells, cancer cells. So I wanted to learn a little bit more about this telomerase and telomeres, and I did a little research and found this abstract of an article about telomere syndromes, certain degenerative diseases that are caused by the shortening of chromosomes because of the degradation of the telomeres. So if this is something that interests you, you might want to find this article. Here's the abstract. Here's a link to where you can access that article. And just understand that this is a normal process of aging, but some diseases, age-degenerative diseases, are actually caused by shortening of chromosomes and loss of that very precious genetic information after the telomere has been already degraded.